Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Planet Coaster here on Theme Park Worldwide. This episode is all going to be about my next ride here in the fantasy themed area. It is going to be a tracked vintage car ride. It's going to go on this location just to the right hand side of my main path into the area, just here. Good to see that you all enjoyed the past couple of episodes, and of course we did open the park 2 episodes back, so make sure you check that one out. And in the last episode I built this junior coaster all around the castle just here, and I have got a name for that now as well, so I'll be sure to share that with you guys towards the end of the episode. So I hope you all had a good week. Like I say, it's been just over a week since the last episode, and here we go. We've got another flat ride that I've put in just here off camera. It's one of these little spinning rides. I'll get that testing to and show you that in action. As you can see just here, it's got a purple and white theme to it, the same sort of feel as what the tents and things have got all around the queue line from a junior coaster. There it is in action, and this is basically just fits in quite nice with the station building behind for the junior coaster just there as well. So I've installed that. That'll be the first ride you come to inside the area. This will be another building similar to what we've got here, and then some more trees just behind there. And then I've also put in this teacups ride just here. This is going to have a bit of a circus theme. So as I mentioned, you're going to have, there's a big fantasy themed area going in here. It'll probably end just there where the hill is. But there's going to be 3 or 4 different themes all within one area, all to do with fantasy. You've got your little medieval section down here. We're then going to have a little circus section here, something else at the top. And then this section down here, which is going to be a really nice gardens sort of area. A bit heavier theme than what we've got down here with our entrance area. I mean, yes, this is a bit of a gardens, what we had going on. It is going to be heavily a theme than that. And have some park characters and all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, let's kick straight in and start on this. So I'll stop that testing for now whilst we work on it. And let's make a start on my new track ride, which is going to go just here. So I actually put in these 2 flat rides just to sort of show a boundary of where it's going to go, because I thought if I put that in just there, it sort of cuts off the boundary point. And also here as well, putting in that teacup, so I don't want it to go any further than there. So if we go down to track rides down here at the bottom, let's have a little look at what we've got. So we don't want a blueprint, we want a custom. What we've got just in there, we've got the little magic cats, the lunar autos. I think we're definitely going to go for the vintage cars. I think that will work really well. So let's have a little look at what we got and make a start on these. So off we go then, let's build it. Now, as I did mention in the last episode, I want this to be really nice and interactive with the footpath just here, but I do also want there to be a few indoor sections on this as well. So we'll think about that as we go along with the layouts. Layout's very important and all about positioning, especially with this park in particular, where I've really thought about where every single little thing goes. So that's quite nice how that follows the sort of layout of the footpath. We can have a bit of planting either side there. Bring that down a little bit. Yeah, that's just what I wanted. Again, we don't want to go too close to the edge of the area. We're starting to get a bit too close to my liking there, so we'll turn it straight back round this way. Of course, we're going to have some sort of major entrance to the area just there. Yeah, it's a good little turnaround section, and then we can start bringing it around this way and send it out to the maximum area where it's going to go. Thinking here we can have a bit of a building actually. Yeah, that was right just there actually. Make that corner a little bit smaller. There we go. So this section here, you can think, right, that's going to be indoors. Looks a bit like a Scalextric, doesn't it? I used to love having a Scalextric when I was a kid. But anyway, it's great that you're all enjoying this series so far. I am really enjoying building this park. It really is fantastic. There we go. Send it back around that way. And we've come so far since the start as well, we really have, and it's all thanks to you guys for inspiring me with this part. Oh, we don't want to change the height of that just there actually. Find it a bit confusing at points about which one's which. I know they have got a different little emblem on, but at first glance. Let's have a little zoom out and see how that looks in terms of a layout. Ah yeah, that looks good. It's a very family park, this is there. I mean, we have got a lot of different attractions for everyone in here. We might only have 2 major coasters, but that is set to change very, very soon, as I'll mention later on in the episode. What my plans are. That's nice, that is. Send it back up here, do a little turn around. we go. It's actually got quite a large footprint, a bit bigger than I was originally intending, but I do quite like that. I think that's a good layout. We've got a lot of theming what can go in there as well. There we go, send that round. I'd use my favourite tool, I think, autocomplete. Makes it so much easier when you're just trying to connect that last little bit up. There we go, I'm really happy with that. I think that fits in really nicely with the area, and of course once we've got theming in there as well, I think that'll work really well. So there we go, we've got one lonely vintage car there for now. Of course, don't need to do any smoothing out on that with it just being a little family ride. Oh, that's quite cool. I noticed how we can change the speed just there. What can we get? 12 cars maybe? It's probably going to be about right. We can change the speed, so let's get that testing. This is very interesting. Oh, I like that. I really like how we can change that speed. I mean, that's about the right sort of speed anyway, 5 miles an hour, but anything up to 15 miles an hour, oh my God. Imagine it going that quick. Yeah, I don't think we wanted that. We can have it all the way down at 3. I think 5 miles an hour is probably a good speed for a track ride like that, to be honest. So as you've just seen then from the sped up footage, I've just spent the past sort of 90 minutes doing all the landscaping, trees, buildings, theming, all the way around my vintage cars ride. And to be honest, I think it looks really good. I mean, there's a few little touches still to add, as there is with everything that I build. But I really like this. I think it fits really well on the opposite side of the castle. Obviously, you've got this little medieval section here. And then we go into more generic sort of fantasy themes. So we've got all different sort of wagons and little market stalls, all that kind of thing. And this ride is basically based on this witch that lives in this house and she's trying to take over throughout this little village, and that's the sort of theme that I'm going for without this. She's trying to put spells and curses on it all, and yeah, that's the sort of general feel for this. So again, I do want a name for this one, so get commenting below your names, and of course before I open again, there's a few more details I want to add in for that one. Well, that'll do on that for now. I am going to start work down here on this piece of land in just a second, but before that, let's reveal the name, what I've decided for my junior coaster. Now I did build this in the last episode. I did ask you guys to comment with names, lots and lots of great ones, but this one from Silver Cypher, who's put, I think the new junior coaster should be called Castle Raider. I really do like the name Castle Raider, so I'm going to go with that one. So thank you very much for your name. Like I say, keep your names coming in for this vintage cars ride. Think about what I just said in terms of the theming. Obviously you've got this witch which is trying to have a sort of curse over this sort of area, so there you go, that's the little basis theme for that one. You can start to see now how this area is starting to come together and how it's going to be lots of different little areas all into one. What I'm going to do now though is do the actual main entrance archway, which is going to go just here. It's not going to be anything too grand. It's going to be quite similar to this what we've got down here. And whilst I'm at it, I'm also going to put in some more of the Mediterranean style buildings just along the front just here, so we can block that in with trees along the back. So it will take me a few minutes to do, so I'll speed you guys up whilst I do that. Then we'll come into it and talk about what the next plans are for the back of the area. So as you can see now, just here all on the front, these buildings are now pretty much complete. Again, a few more details to add on to them to make them look even more realistic. But there you go, that gives you a good idea of how this area is going to look. I mean, this is the entrance to my fantasy themed area. I would like a name for the entire area as well, so get commenting below a name for this vintage cars ride and a name for the area as a whole. Now this area is going to be quite large. It's going to be around that sort of shape. It's going to be a big oval. Now what I want to do is create the boundary along here of where the area is going to end, and that means that I don't actually have to finish this fantasy area before I can move on to this area just here. I am itching to build, I mentioned this earlier on, but I'm itching to build another massive roller coaster, and in the next episode I am going to do just that, and I am going to start to build my sci-fi themed area, which is going to go just here. So before I do that, I need to create my boundary of where this fantasy area is going to end. Now in between this episode and the next episode, might do a little bit of work around here, but not loads. I'm going to prepare this area ready for sci-fi. It'll be the fourth major area inside this park, and let's just say it's looking fantastic so far. You can really start to see how it's all going to pan out. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to speed you up before we wrap this episode up of me just putting in the boundary of this fantasy area, which is going to lead into sci-fi just over here. Wow, how interesting does that look? So we've now got a bit of a layout for the rest of the park and how it's going to proceed. So you can see here we've got our fantasy area. What I'm planning is on having a couple of dark rides at the back just here. And from looking at your guys' feedback from our previous dark ride, if I'd have actually built it inside some mountains, it would actually stay dark all the time. So that's definitely something I'm considering for the back of the park just here. Out the back just here, more hotels all around there. Same again on this side. This here is going to be a huge sci-fi themed area, split off into a couple of different themes going on just there, which would be interesting. I've got a few ideas for that. And then I've got a big space down the bottom just here to play with another big themed area as well, and some possible more accommodation, because of course we've only got the one resort hotel at the moment. Wow. This really gives you a good idea of how this part is going to expand, and in terms of space, there's still a lot to play with in this game. We've probably got over half the space left still to play with. Anything we've got all of that, we've only used this bottom corner really. So yeah, there's still so much to come from this part, there really is. And in the next episode I'm going to start construction on my sci-fi themed area. So you can see now I'm trying to bring it around this way and then expand outwards in all these directions, because now we've got this hub of the park here at Volcano Springs. That is it for this bit shorter episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I say, keep commenting below. I want a name for this vintage cars ride and a name for my fancy area in Hull. And make sure you come back in the next episode where I'm going to do another large-scale coaster. We've only had 2 so far. We've had the RMC Hybrid down here, the Wing Coaster up in our Pirates area. The third big coaster is going to go on this site just here, and it is going to be some form of sci-fi themed coaster, possibly launched. Comment below whatever you think, and thank you very much for watching another episode of Let's Play Planet Coaster. I'm Shawn Sandbrook, and I'll see you in the next episode. See you next time at Volcano Springs.